Look, I'm still at school and I look like I'm running for office or something. And okay, Ian's here, so he wants to say hello. No, come to this side, buddy. Come to this side. Okay. All right, you have to get up here, like next to me. Next to me. Oof. And say hi.
Hi.
Anything to say to the 8th graders? Tell them say do good on your EOGs.
Do good on your EOGs.
Okay.
Or you're going to be fired from the school and be kicked out of the bus. Or the school bus.
Okay. All right. Have you got homework? You can do your homework. All right. Let me get this started up here. All right. Here we go. Today we are going to be talking about inference and conclusion. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. Just as a heads up for the assignment that's embedded within this, you are going to need your gym class nobody/somebody story. So if you don't have that with you, you might want to pause it and go grab it because you're going to need it when you get to further on into the practice screen, as you can see right over here. All right, but let's get started first with a little bit of background information about inference and conclusion. So here's the deal. Here's what it's all about. If you didn't know, it gets pretty noisy in here in the afternoons. So here's the deal. Inference and conclusion are probably the most common type of question that you're going to see on the EOGs. Unfortunately about that, they are also the most difficult to answer with a multiple choice question because everybody's interpretations are different. But fear not, because I bring the good news of effective strategies, which shall be for all students. So we're going to talk through and make sure that you understand how to eliminate the answer choices that are not correct and decide between the ones that seem, oh, this is almost correct, not quite correct, I'm not sure. Of course, you need to know what your keywords are going to be. And your keywords for conclusion and inference are conclude, infer, tell, assume, likely, probably, and based on the information in the selection. And that's kind of the key term, is you need to remember that whatever inference you're drawing needs to be based on the information in the selection. All right, so a couple of things, specifics about what to do, what strategies to use. First and foremost, you need to look at the question itself. Before you start getting all distracted by the answer choices, use the information in the question stem so you know what important information you're looking for. Most conclusion and inference items are going to ask you about something important that happens in the story. It's not very often that you're asked a question like, oh, please infer why Ben was wearing a blue shirt on this day, because it's just not important. It's a minor detail. So make sure you know what important event or event in general that you're looking for so you know exactly where to look in the story for the information. A lot of times too, paying attention to the tone and mood, what is said, how it's said, will help you make an inference about the question itself. What are you supposed to know based on what is said? What are you supposed to know based on how it's said? What does the tone tell you? What does the mood tell you? Okay, so this kind of builds on itself. Again, for every single question, you should try building a case for the answers. So I talked to, I know, third period today about the reason that the EOG is so long. And this is the reason why. Most of you could probably sit down and read the 5 or 6 selections in half an hour or 45 minutes. It would take you a little bit longer to answer the questions on them. But if you're actually taking the time to build a case for every answer and proving that it's there in the text and taking the time to make sure that you do it correctly, then it should take you the entire time if you're actually building a case for everything. Drawing conclusions and inferring is about stepping back from what the passage says and thinking about what is the meaning here? What does the author really want me to know here? Okay. So one of the things that you can do is to use this question stem and insert the answer choices with it. And we're going to do that towards the end of the towards the end of the video, towards the end of the presentation. We're going to say, what is said about blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to decide which one has the strongest case. So again, the answer choice with the most evidence is the correct answer choice. And finally, you can pretend to be the author. Think about what information you gave. If you were the author, what information did you give in the selection that would support those conclusions, that you would want the reader to draw that conclusion that's listed in the answer choices? Sometimes while you're thinking like an author, it becomes very clear that one option stands out. It's the right choice. It's the only one that makes any sense. The other ones are going to be like, no, that does, what is that? So thinking like an author will help you, putting yourself in the author's shoes. Now, this is the practice session. For the practice session, this is going to be your assignment, which you will then turn in class tomorrow. For this part, you need your reading selection, the gym class Nobody/Somebody, and you also need a piece of notebook paper and something to write with. So please, if you don't have those things, pause me and go get them. All right, here we go. This is a question from the gym class Nobody/Somebody, and we are going to read through the question, look at the answer choices, and walk through the process that I just broke down for you about how to answer this question. So we want to know, what can the reader conclude from the teammates' comments in paragraph 2? Do they A, they think of Jake as an important member of the team? B, they are not confident that Jake will make the catch? C, they don't understand why Jake isn't wearing his glove? D, they know the blinding sun is distracting to Jake. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to paragraph 2 and find the teammates' comments. You're going to pause me, you're going to reread paragraph 2, and you're going to underline the comments of Jake's teammates, and you're going to underline the verbs that are mentioned twice. Okay, so underline the comments, underline the verbs 2 times. Remember, verbs are action words for those of you who go, what's a verb? Okay, now, unpause me after you're done, and then think about, based on the information that is contained in the comments of Jake's teammates, that is contained in what they say and how they say it, which answer choice seems best. Write down your answer. Give a justification for why you answered that. Why do you think this is the best answer choice? Then we're going to go on. And we're going to actually take the time to go through each answer choice and build a case. We're going to answer the following question with text evidence. All right, the question stem is, what does paragraph 2 say about? First question, what does paragraph 2 say about the teammates thinking Jake is an important member of the team?
I like so...
Shh. Really sorry about that announcement. If you heard it, yeah. Forgive Ian. He doesn't know what he's saying. All right, so what I was going to say is pause me and make a list of text evidence for the teammates thinking Jake is an important member of the team. Then ask yourself, what does paragraph 2 say about the teammates not feeling confident that Jake will make the catch? Again, pause me, write down the text evidence for answer choice B. What does paragraph 2 say about C, the teammates' confusion about why Jake isn't wearing his glove? Pause me, make a list. And finally, what does paragraph 2 say about the teammates' knowledge that the sun is distracting? Pause me, make a list. After you have made your list, look at which list is longest. Which answer choice has the most text evidence? That's going to be the correct answer. Now, look back at the answer choice that you came up with for the comments and the verbs. Is it the same answer choice? Is it justifiable in both cases? If it is, then that's probably going to be your answer. Yay! So the million-dollar question is, what is the answer? Stay tuned tomorrow when you find out. Make sure you bring this assignment with you. Make sure you go back through each screen and make sure you have written down everything that you're supposed to write down, because the instructions are not on the screen, they're given to you orally. So make sure that you listen to them carefully and that you do each step. I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of the evening.